I was muted. So, another AAA live service fail. 3 weeks from launch to cancellation. I'm not surprised. This reminds me of the day before. I think it was the day before.
Okay, what's up, friend? It was a bit of a weird one for you today. I follow video game news as part of my job. I'm online all the time. I'm always watching for when new games are announced, when they come out, whether they look interesting to me or not. And when The Cube was announced, I was like,
I remember this game. I actually did a video about this, when I remember correctly. Yeah. I can see why it is completely flopped, because it has nothing going for it. Literally nothing going for it. Nothing. There's nothing interesting in this game that you don't see in other games.
okay, cool. I like extraction shooters. A different take on extraction shooters from a...
Oh, that was an extraction shooter? I don't even remember that. Yeah, that makes also sense why it flopped, because, man, extraction shooters don't have a casual audience appeal. Or how do I say it better? They don't appeal to a huge amount of people there.
Korean studio. Interesting. I'll keep an eye on that. I didn't even know this released. And I guess part of the reason I didn't know it released is because I probably got it confused with, you know, be forgiven here, got it confused with The Cube, the other shooter game, right? We've got The Cube Save Us and The Cube, and they both got announced at roughly the same time. They're both shooter games with what looks like scantily clad women, which is a...
Did they look at this game? Or did they look at both? I have no idea. They might as well literally be the same game.
Plus in my book. But I guess we'll refer to this one as Gooner Cube, because this is the XL Games version that, you know, if you look at any of the gameplay of this and any of the character customization, it's very, like, skimpy outfits and whatever else, which I'm not saying that as a negative, just saying, because there is a prevailing sentiment out there that only Western games and the ones that have, like, the ugly female characters are the ones that fail.
No. No. Only because you have hot chicks doesn't mean you can't fail. If the game is just bad, then the game is just bad.
We do have a reminder here that that's not true, and bad games fail and good games don't fail, regardless of how much I want to fuck the characters. I don't know why we're getting on a tangent here, but basically the news here is yet another live service flop, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that XL Games is quickly becoming one of the worst acquired studios probably ever. Maybe next to Bungie, because obviously Sony bought Bungie for billions of dollars, and Bungie, since being acquired, have continued making Destiny played by less and less people and earn less and less money.
And then they also brought out Marathon and lost $200 million on that. I made a video about that. They at least lost 200 million with Marathon.
And then released Marathon, which, for as much hate as it gets, is not a terrible game. It's just not a good game. It's purely okay. And Marathon, because of the budget, needed to sell millions and millions and millions of copies, and it hasn't, and the player numbers look really bad. So it's probably going to be considered a financial flop, even though the game is decent. It's just decent. It's not good enough to survive in the live service market anymore. XL Games, obviously, if you're familiar with MMOs, XL Games was basically created by a guy.
I think I have never heard of them. But looking at this already makes me not want to interact with anything.
A guy called Jake Song, who was like the godfather of Korean MMOs. He was there at the beginning. He had a hand in development of all their big franchises. Really, MMOs would not be the same without him, which, if you know what Korean MMOs are like, maybe that's not a feather in his cap. But either way, this guy was like a legend, and he made XL Games, who then created Arcade. Arcade was a really hit and miss game. At the beginning, it had signs that it was...
I think that game released several times, right? When I remember correctly, it released it several times. I played it for, I think, 2 hours. I mean, that says everything, right? Playing a game for 2 hours. An MMO, yeah.
Going to be one of the greatest MMOs ever made, and then it was just a complete fucking flop. And since then, XL Games has seemingly gone from potential success to absolute failure every step of the way. But they were acquired by Cacao Games, and Cacao Games, since buying them, have had to be essentially selling management rights to another company because Cacao Games has done so badly. And you can look at XL Games, like, what have they released? What have we got here? We've got Braves, never heard of it. It's a mobile game. Archville, a farm-style game. Highlight of Archville is the linkage system that allows players to send certain items from Archville to Arcade. Archville is a mobile. Yep, skip that one.
Of course. Civilization
Online, I've heard of this. I can't remember anybody ever talking about playing it. Archage Begins is a hero.
Oh, why would you associate this game with Archage? That's already a negative.
Collecting 3D MMORPG, didn't know this one existed. Royal Road Legendary Moonlight Sculptor, never heard of it. Arcade, of course. Moonlight Sculptor Dark Gamer, sounds like some shit, you know, some person in school that didn't have any friends would call themselves on Facebook. Arc World, which is, of course, when they tried to make an NFT blockchain version of Arcade.
Of course.
Which probably reached a grand total of 10 players. Arcade War, don't know what this one is. It's just an Arcade Chronicles. Obviously, that's the upcoming one, which everything that I've been told by people who have played this game, it's not an MMO. Even though they list it as an MMO here, it's not an MMO, and the game is really, really rough. So if they get it into a good playable state, great. And then the Cube Savers, which launched weeks ago and is now closing down.
Of course.
Right? This game was an absolute fucking turbo flop. Released to 5k players. The next day, halved.
That's bad. Even Hyga did better. Imagine, even Hyga did better than this. This is literally a Concord level of success. Oh my god, it's bad. It's so bad. But yeah, I'm not surprised. It's an extraction game, so it's not appealing to a lot of people to begin with, and then it's the game that it is, you know.
And then just continued to go down from there to the point where they have 168 players online, just a couple weeks out from launch. Mostly negative reviews on Steam, and I was trying to look for footage of this, because again, I pay attention to gaming news.
Let me guess. He couldn't find anyone playing the game.
I had no clue this even launched. So I went online and I looked at, YouTube videos to try and see some gameplay, which is already confusing because if you search The Cube, what do you get? The Cube Manchester. Apparently this is a place in Manchester. Apparently there's a place in fucking Canary Wharf, which is in London. Apparently it's a British game show, but then if you search The Cube game, you get the other Cube, because this one's the Cube Saver. So if you were looking for this, you weren't going to find it. And then if you go on YouTube, every video that I found was either months old or sponsored. So they dumped a bunch of money marketing this thing, and it was just shit. And if you look at gameplay of it, like, you can see what I'm talking about here. Like, the beginning intro is just woman.
Yeah, this is literally, oh yeah, play our game, you can play as this. That's all this game is about.
In leather, walking away from the camera. Like, again, not complaining, just is what it is. And then this is your character select. Traditional Korean games do great character select for obvious reasons.
Yeah, but this runs like trash. Why does this run like trash?
Yeah, these are exactly the outfits you would be expected to wear in a post-apocalyptic scenario, of course.
As a woman, yes.
But then you get into the game and you just run around and spam left click on things with a UI that would make...
This looks like it's just a bought asset with no work put to it. Maybe changing the colors, and that's it.
The day before blush. Like, this legitimately looks like someone's Unity hobby project. It looks fucking garbage.
Wait, it's Unity?
It looks like an alpha. Right? This doesn't look like a live game that people have spent a long time developing. This looks terrible. I guess I should probably up it from 480p that I do a little bit more justice. The game looks, the environments look great, but this is the fucking thrilling game.
I agree, the environments look great, but that's not hard. That's not hard to do these days. These could all be just store-bought assets. It's not hard to make a game look good these days at all.
Play that people are waiting for, so in the cube, it's just people meleeing each other. I can't think of anything less fun, to be honest.
Yeah, why would I play this? It's shit.
He's running. How do you catch him? You run at the same move speed. Like, this is thrilling. How did this game fail?
This is just bad. This is just a bad game.
Oh, as you can see, though, fully fleshed out cash shop.
Wow.
Of course.
Of course, the cash shop is the best thing about the game. Of course. Of course, that's what's going on.
Of course. Fully fleshed out cash shop in a game that can't get any players. There you go. You can have a gold leotard bunny costume with a great moose knuckle there on the male character.
Keep them safe for you.
Everyone's favorite.
She was on one of my thumbnails that I made, on the thumbnail of the video I made about this game. She looks great, but the game is trash. So no one will look at her.
Post-apocalyptic NPC. Fantastic.
I look forward.
The one thing I will give them credit for is that they've not said much about the game being closed. Today, it's heartbreaking that we have to deliver unfortunate news to the Raiders. All couple hundred of them. The Cube Save Us, which started with a lot of support and affection from Raiders, will end its story on May 8th. It didn't really, did it? It didn't have like a lot of support. It was a free-to-play game.
A free-to-play
bear in mind,
a free-to-play game, and no one played it. Well, a large village played it. Because 5,000 people, that's a large village. Or a small town. Well, now it's concurrent players, so it's doubled it. 10,000. It's a small town. It's a small town.
You can still download this now. A free-to-play game from a AAA studio with the tenure of XL Games, with the backing of Kakao, launching to 5,000 concurrent players is absolutely horrifically bad performance-wise. Yeah. But I'll give them credit. They refunded everyone for everything that they spent in the cash shop during the game's brief tenure of existence. But it makes me laugh. You look at their patch notes for the most recent patch, and it's like 4 new costumes added. There's 7 lines of patch notes, and one of them is that they've added new stuff to the cash shop.
Of course. What are you expecting?
In a game that almost nobody's playing. This comment does point something out that I was saying earlier. Didn't hear about this game until them announcing after 3 weeks after launch it would be shutting down on May 8th. There was nothing I saw about this game at all. But again, if you go look at YouTube, if you just search The Cube Save Us, like, the videos you're going to see, they're sponsored. I don't agree with some of the comments that I've been seeing around online that have been like, oh, extraction shooters are dead. Why would anyone make extraction shooters?
Extraction shooters are dead? What? That's stupid to say. Of course they aren't dead. Escape from Tarkov is still running. Arc Raiders is doing fine, even with all the problems. And it has a lot of problems at this point. But they aren't dead, not even close. They never have been a huge thing to begin with. So saying, oh, they're all dead, that's stupid.
Because obviously Marathon's just done not very well. Because we've just seen...
And Marathon is just an okay game that has no business even existing.
One of the best games of recent years in the live service space, as well as that has had one of the best player retentions in recent years for a live service product in Arc Raiders launch. You can absolutely make extraction shooters. There's 100% a market there.
Arc Raiders wasn't successful because it wasn't an extraction shooter. It was successful despite being an extraction shooter because the entire game concept fundamentally it's good. And the game, I have to say it, was good. And I still wish it was as good as it was in December. Because then that was where the game was the best in my eyes. After that, it went all downhill. And it went downhill fast.
But the game's got to be good, right? It's got to do something different to what's already available. This clearly did. I guess this is different, but it's bad, right? This game being mostly melee and fighting against like demons and having Goonabait characters, I guess all that's different, but it's a shit game. I think there's definitely room out there for other extraction games. I think it's a pretty underexplored, in my opinion, genre, and there's a lot of stuff you could do with it. Most extraction games out there that have been popular for the last like 5 or so years are from tiny studios, so there's definitely some leg room out there. But this is just shit, isn't it? Hopefully The Cube comes out, and that's decent, because that's from the studio that made Atomic Heart, which is a cool game. Ooh. And that actually looks like it has some kind of flavor or flair, as opposed to this thing that just looked like Korean characters in mobile game. Which honestly, if you told me this was a mobile game or was designed to be a mobile game, I would absolutely believe you, because it just looks ass. There we go, yet again, another XL Games failure. If they release Arcade Chronicle and it's not an absolute smash hit,
it won't be. It's tied to Arc Age. It won't be.
I don't know how you justify keeping this studio open, because what the fuck have they done in the last like 15 years? Pretty much nothing in my eyes. But there you go. Thanks for watching as always. Check the links in the video description, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe.
Good video. Good video. Oh my god. Yeah. Another live service AAA game, apparently AAA game. I don't think so. That completely flopped. Who could have guessed that a game no one asked for flops? Damn. Who could have guessed? Who could have guessed that the trashy game flops, even if it has hot chicks? Yeah. And we have to see here, Arc Raiders doesn't have hot chicks, but the game was good, and that's why people bought it. 50 million people. And apparently they have somewhat of around 1 million people every day playing the game, so that's a lot of people. So yeah, if you like this video and you want to see more, consider subscribing or following or whatever it is where you are that you can do. Give it a like and let me know in the comments what you think. See ya.